We're gonna be discussing today a video. And as you can see, we got some big figures here. Over $1 million holding. Let's see what this is about. This is for those software engineers who are, want to be more entrepreneurial and stuff like that. I saw this video that pops up, and I'm in the middle of the night. Let's watch it. Let's do a reaction video on it. So let's get into it.
If you're a software engineer stuck in a 9-to-5 grind but are dreaming of one day becoming financially free, then this video is for you. In the next 15 minutes, I'll share the 7 biggest lessons that helped me go from a corporate code monkey to building AB Analytics, a 7-figure B2B consulting firm that made over $1.6 million in revenue in the past 4 months. Now, you might be wondering, Hugo, what does a consulting firm have to do with coding? Where most of the wealth was held by corrupt oligarchs, this was the natural conclusion for me. And it was easy to believe that only the lucky or dishonest got rich. But everything changed when I stumbled upon a website called livecounter.com that actually showed how much money Bill Gates was making in real time. I'm pretty sure the website still exists, so you can check it out yourself. But I watched as I saw Bill Gates make thousands of dollars in mere seconds. And at first, I couldn't believe it. I thought, there's no way this is true. But after some research, I realized that it was in fact true. Then in 2022, I read a statistic that said 88% of millionaires are business owners. At the time, keep in mind that I was already a software engineer. I already had
So one thing as I was growing up, Warren Buffett was definitely one of the people that I follow a lot. He was secretly my mentor. He doesn't even know that he's my mentor, but yeah, I wanted to be more of an investor and be more a person in the stock. But one thing that really, captured to me, and it didn't really happen until I started reading different books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then his particular quadrant. And he's debatable right now. He's questionable right now. Some of his fundamental things and just overall concepts right now with the beginning of his books, but the quadrants. So you have employee, you have self-employed, you have and that's on the left hand side of the quadrant. Then on the right hand side of the quadrant, you have investor, you have business owner. And what really played in turned the switch on my head that majority of the time business owners are the one typically they don't really run their business. They probably started off, being probably self-employed and get it in there, but then they got operators in there that they run the business for them. They checking on it every now and then, ensuring that it's operating properly and everything's going well. And the same thing with investors on the investor side. So they make money literally just by going to sleep. They put in money to other businesses that allow them to grow. And I thought that was just really fascinating to me. This is something I definitely want to explore, in my life, just being able to be a business owner. And for the most part, I have that experience, but mainly to the point where I'm not working in the business, but other people are operating the business for me once I get it started. But I just want to note that out there.
And I asked myself why. And I found my answer. As software engineers, we're trained to think like employees. We're given tasks to solve, code to write, and features to ship. We focus on the how, but rarely do we ever question the why. We'll search for how to solve a problem, how to optimize an algorithm, but we won't ever ask why we're solving this problem in the first place.
Kind of disagree with that most of the time. I ask why all the time. People get frustrated with me. Yeah, I can tell you how it can get done, but why is this important? Is this really important? Because, we got stakeholders. They might say, hey, I want a unicorn on this thing. We can't do unicorns. All right. It's not possible, but we can do this. All right. I want to know why you want a unicorn. Maybe you probably want not a unicorn, but you want a pony. Hey, I can give you a pony. So I can do the how, but I can't match it happen sometimes. It's it got to make sense. All right.
And now that I actually understood the power of leverage, I needed to apply it. The lesson that I learned here was to truly utilize leverage and make sure that I actually got the most out of my time. I needed to be aware of all the resources that I had to actually make my decisions, i.e. my unique advantage. So I decided to write down all the people that I knew and how they could be of help to me, all my technical and live experiences, as well as everything else my location had to offer me that I maybe wasn't aware of in the first place. And it turns out after I put everything into writing and I did a little bit more research, I had a lot more resources available to me than I initially thought. And furthermore, I realized just how poorly I was using some of my resources.
That's facts, man. That's facts. Even to this day, I still find it so hard to get referrals, like, or even ask for referrals. Using my network to my advantage is like, I mean, the only time I probably start doing that, like, really, is like when I first started doing software. I was like talking to my family and all those things in regards to, hey, do you know someone in tech? Do you know someone who code? And then actually met my first mentor, and then he set me up with a job. That was just like awesome. Even to this day, it's just like I try to break out of that to be able to use like my network more to do that. As me, my network definitely uses me. They ask me for referrals, or they ask me for advice, or they ask me, for help and stuff.
So, I decided to make a plan to incorporate my unique advantage in forming a proper business. And that is how AB Analytics was born. A business completely tailored to my unique advantage. And I remember when I first started AB Analytics, I wasn't really making any money for the first few months. I remember the only clients that I actually managed to get were ones that I said I would work for free. And
Yo, I can relate to this so much. When I first started doing software, I was like going to these tech hubs and stuff. I was like, yo, I work for free, man. Just like let me do something so I can get my tasks and my skills up. Yeah, I did that a couple of times. Then I'm like, yo, I'm doing great. I'm knocking this stuff out of the park. I'm starting to charge y'all. Hey, I don't know if we could do that. Blah blah blah. Good pushback during that time, but it's just like the feeling of selling yourself, right? Like especially at the beginning. Like now I know what my worth is, right? I know where my worth is now. There's still like he said, still being able to use like my skills properly and put it into the right direction and planning and stuff. That's what I'm still trying to hone my skills on, like hone my skill in that particular sense to use my skills properly. Because I think one of my unique advantage, and maybe this is not like a skill that a lot of people can see, but I can coordinate really well. Coordinating to me is like fitting puzzle pieces for the most part. So if I can use that as a unique advantage, because I know how to dove into particular things I don't know about, but I know, hey, it's just a puzzle piece, how I can connect these dots and stuff so that, things are flowing properly. That's how I look at everything. That's how I solve all the problems. Like what dots are not connecting, what is the information that's not, I don't know of that I need to know in order to solve this problem. I'm going to try to find and connect those dots. So I'm going to find the resources to put that together. So I don't know, maybe a consulting company is probably something I need to look into one of these days, but I have to see how that would definitely pan out. I definitely got a couple of like employers in the past definitely wanting, one of my skill sets and stuff, especially how I'm speaking about it today. Yeah, we'll see. My own consulting company might be something I might consider in the near future.
And at first, I thought that they were just being friendly. So out of humility, I asked firmly for them to stop. But then they told me that they were
I'm
giving
like,
away
nope.
unsold goods that would otherwise go to waste. So I decided to dig a bit further and realized that they consistently overproduced baked goods to avoid running out during busy periods. And this eventually led them to having excess inventory, which meant lost revenue.
Yo, I already can see where this is going. He has an analytics company. Pretty much, he's trying to forecast what's going to happen. He's going to forecast how much goods based off of, just seasonality and stuff and how often people are coming in to sales. He's going to forecast of how much product that he actually needs so that he can save the business owner some money. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
So it dawned on me that this was actually a demand forecasting problem, which was
Bam.
something I could solve. I offered to help them analyze their sales data to better predict customer demand. And this one simple experience taught me that before you even consider making a solution, you need to understand your customers as well as you would understand your partner. Just a little less intimate of a relationship. Because by connecting with the bakery owner on a more human level and actually understanding his daily struggles, I was able to tailor a solution that met his specific needs.
Yo, I've been telling you guys all this time. This is the thing that I tell everyone. It's like, yo, if you're a coder, you're a programmer, you're a software engineer, or whatever. If you want to get into this game in coding. Forget all about that money stuff. Figure out how to solve people's problems. Like that's ultimately what you need to aim for, even if it's a problem of your own or if it's someone else. Like if you know how to scope that down and just like focus on that problem and build that out, you'll be not only helping yourself out, but you'll be helping other people out as well that need that particular product or service. Yeah, think of everything in the sense of, you know, if you are going to code a project, think of it as a thing that is going to solve some problem of yours or someone else's. Like, forget all these little counter, app. Figure out a problem and solve that thing. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then maybe you can sell that thing. You never know.
It wasn't about selling a product anymore. It was all about providing value and making a difference in his business. Because I learned that people want to feel understood and valued. By connecting with your customers on a more human level, you are able to build trust and lay the foundation for long-term partnerships. And business should be the same exact way, except instead of a gift, you are creating a solution. So, understanding your customers essentially means you can give them the best solution. And in my case, understanding our customers better naturally led to the next insight, specifically how I presented our services to them. You see, in the early days, I made the mistake of focusing on the features of our service way too much. I'd go into great detail about our data models, processing speeds, and all the technical jargon that I was simply excited to talk about as a software engineer. I thought that by showcasing our advanced capabilities, this would impress the clients. But I noticed that they simply did not care.
That's so much facts. I mean, it's like, I forgot the phrase of it. Maybe I can find it right in between this. Find it while I'm thinking about it. But the phrase I'm looking at is like, they don't care how it's cooked. They just want to see how good it tastes. Like, they don't want to know what ingredients you put in it. They don't know what the process you did to make it like taste or get it to that spaghetti at that al dente texture. They don't want to know none of that. They just want to know it tastes good, they can consume it, and they can move on with their life with no stomach aches, Nothing that's gonna like make them feel horrible that they bought this particular dish from you, right? So yeah, for the most part, yeah, like I'm gonna try to finish this video. It's getting late. But what I pretty much got out of this is that I need to figure out how to, continue to sell my stuff, but also just continue to, market it out. Like, I just need to continue to do that for myself. Hopefully anyone else, maybe you got something else out of it. I'll put down the link in below. I think this is a really good video. I'm gonna finish it later on, but this is my cutoff time. It's like, yo, I need to get to bed. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.